So, have you guys ever wanted to ask a trans person a question? Well, that's great because I have racked my brain at the most frequently asked questions. So, let's get right into it. So, I put together a list of the most frequently asked questions that I've gotten from friends, that I've gotten from emails, from DMs, and just from interacting with people out in my day to day life. The first question that a lot of people ask, and this is pretty common, is how old were you when you knew that you were trans? I have always known that I was a girl, but I didn't really know what trans was until I was about 13 or 14, before I guess I really understood. Um, Growing up in San Francisco, I saw a lot of transgender people, and ignorantly, I called them transformers because that was the best way I could think of it, was like they're transforming from a guy to a girl. So to me, they were transformers, which I thought was really cool. And so I guess I knew that I was trans when I was about 13 or 14, but I have always known that I was a girl. The second question that I get asked all the time is, do you ever miss being a guy and would you transition back? So, no, I don't miss being a guy, and I definitely would never detransition. I'm so happy with my life, where it's progressed, who I've become, and all the things I've accomplished. Also, I couldn't imagine living my life as a guy. I mean, it was so difficult trying to conform my life to living as a gay guy. I just knew it wasn't right for me. So that I don't miss. There are things that I do miss. Having an easy hairdo, like just being able to wake up, have a shortcut and go. Also just being able to like get up and go. Like literally being able to throw on some jeans, throw on some basketball shorts, a t-shirt and some sneakers and leave the house. Now it literally takes me 30 minutes to an hour to do my hair, to do makeup, to find the right outfit, find the matching shoes and accessories. So I really think that I do miss some things about, the luxuries that guys have, but do I miss being a guy? No. I also miss the fact of just being able to get up and leave the house and not feel that the whole world is against you, or the whole world is like staring at you, or, always wondering like, oh, are you trans? So there are definitely things that I miss, but I don't miss being a guy. So this is a question that guys have asked me so many times, and I also talked about it in a previous video on the 5 tips for dating trans women. Is, does dating a trans woman make me gay? So if you want me to go into detail, I'll leave a link in the description below to that video where I go into complete detail about if dating a trans woman makes you gay. The short answer is, dating a trans woman doesn't make you gay. You should really embrace your sexuality, and you should embrace who you are, grow into your skin, feel comfortable with who you are. That is one of the sexiest traits a guy can have. So no, dating a trans woman does not make you gay. This next question is one that irks me every single time they ask me. How do you hide it? I hate this question. I really do. Because one, it's really invasive. Like, that's like walking up to somebody, a guy specifically, and being like, how big are you? Who does that? Like, you don't have a conversation about the intimate parts, like, or what underwear are you wearing? Like, no, no, no. Don't, that's not an okay question to ask. Trans women have adapted, and there are specific underwears that we call tucks that we use to hide our genitals so that we can pass a little bit easier, and so that there's like no bulge or anything. My experience with tucks they're super uncomfortable in the beginning. When I first transitioned, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing to my body? This isn't natural. Like, oh my God, it hurts so much. Um, but also, I had to think, like, how can I best pass without people looking at me crazy? And like, how can I wear this dress, this short skirt, without exposing myself? Or so it was a really interesting learning experience. And then obviously, uh, a lot of trans women have the surgeries, so there's no longer worried about tucking or about hiding it, or anything like that. Also, I don't really feel like it's, I hate the word hiding it, because a lot of trans people are okay with their body parts. So maybe they're just, it's like just putting on a pair of underwear. So trans people have adapted. There's underwear called tucks that are specifically designed to make it easier to hide it. Another question that I get asked frequently is, what surgeries have you had? This is also a touchy subject between trans women. Some trans people are going to be like, okay, you can ask that. And then some people are going to be like, why? Why does it matter? And I guess I fall in the spectrum, and it all depends on the day for me, because sometimes I'm all about talking about my surgeries. And then sometimes I get weird about it, where I just like, I don't want to talk about it. And then I just like, I feel like if I look a certain way, it's because I obviously wanted to look like that, or my surgeries don't make me who I am. So I get really weird about it. The surgeries that I guess I'm more willing and open to talk about are more like my cosmetic stuff. I've always talked about it, I've always been open about it. I've had Botox, I've had fillers, I've definitely have had like laser treatments and different things like that. Those for me, I'm okay with talking about, because I feel I can also help other trans girls with stuff like that, especially sending them to like good doctors for fillers, sending them to good laser doctors, like those type of things I'm usually willing to talk about. And then also, like, I guess it all depends if a random cisgender person is asking me, especially like about my genitals or about my boobs. For me, it's all circumstantial. It depends on the situation, who's asking, the mood I'm in, the day it is. It all depends. Usually I'm fairly open, but when it comes to like intimate conversations and being vulnerable, I have to be in a safe place to answer those questions. This next question is one of my favorite questions, and it's, how did you learn how to do your makeup? And anyone who knows me, I love makeup. I love being glam. I love the whole aesthetic of like transforming into a better version of yourself is amazing. I learned how to do my makeup by trial and error, because I didn't have women around to be like, do it this way, do it like this. And this is back a little bit before YouTube tutorials were a huge craze like they are now. It was mostly just trial and error, trying to go to the store, pick the right foundation, not get clocked, and then going back and trying to make it look like a picture of a person from Mac. Like, it was all trial and error. And now I have YouTube, which is great. And so, yeah, learning how to do makeup was totally fun. One of the questions that I thought was most interesting, and it's one that I reached out to my husband for, because I was like, well, what, give me some questions. Like, what would you ask a trans person? Think about like when you first were meeting a trans person, what would you ask them? And he came up with the question, how how do you go out as a girl for the first time? And I had to sit back and think, like, I was like, okay, that's kind of deep. I like that, because it really made me think way back to the beginning of my transition, and how scared and nervous I was, and how I got ready for that moment of like, oh my God, I'm actually going to be walking out of my, not only my bathroom, into my apartment, but into the world as a woman. That's a scary thought. And it was like terrifying. at the time. So I was 19 years old. I was with my best friend Mikey, and we were doing a talent show at Cal State Los Angeles, and we were backup dancers for our friend Priscilla. And we had a couple people, and it was a queer friendly event. We had some people who were doing drag. We had some people doing like poetry. So it was a very queer friendly space. I had borrowed my friend Priscilla's clothes, like this cute little vest and these skinny jeans. And I looked beat. My makeup was done, I had a cute little wig. Everything was beat. And I remember going out doing the performance, and they were like, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful. You look so fishy. Oh my God, you look like a girl." And so it was like a huge confidence boost because it was like my first time going out into the world, and like people were really responsive. People were like complimenting me, and like it was just an amazing experience. And it made me not be so nervous because I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm crazy. And I'm going to get all this judgment because I had to see these people every day. But it was awesome. Definitely the talk of the school for like the next week. And it was really fun. So that's the little story time about going out as a girl. Some advice I would give you is definitely, it's terrifying. I know that. So having a good support system, someone you can reach out to and be like, hey, this is my first time. Can you help me with my hair? Can you help me with my makeup? Does this outfit look right? Try to present yourself to the world as best you can because that's their first impression. So I think that's something to consider. Also, just get out and do it. Don't be stuck on, oh my God, what is the world going to think? Just do it. Because the more you do it, the more you get comfortable with it, and the more you're able to really find yourself and find your aesthetic and grow into the new you. So the last question is something guys have asked me for years. If I had $1 for as many times as I've been asked this question, I would be very, very wealthy. The question is, how do I find a nice trans girl? So there's no one particular place that all the nice trans girls are. There's not like a library or a bar or, some secret society that they're all hiding in. No, trans women are all over the world in all walks of life. And I really think it's about making a deep connection. Because at the end of the day, they want to feel loved, they want to feel connected, and ultimately we're looking for love. That's really what it is. So it's really getting to know that person and being open and honest and aware and having those boundaries. Like I talked in a previous video, making sure that you're in a place mentally, physically, and spiritually to be able to have that connection. And also for the trans girl to be, to be able to be confident in her transition, to have kind of everything together to bring something to the table. So I think it's a very loaded question, and I can't give you a definite answer, but there are amazing trans women out there who are looking for love, and there are amazing guys. There are amazing people out there, and it's just about making that connection. So I know that's not like the most helpful answer. So go out there, try and find that person that you're either going to love for today, for a season, or for the rest of your life. Make that connection and make the most of it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this frequently asked questions of my crazy trans life. And I hope you guys are living your blessed lives. So there's so much amazing stuff that I have in store for you guys. So make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye, guys.